Welcome to a quick plot of the summer 2016 anime ReLIFE. Spoiler warning for the plot and events from the anime. Arata Kaizaki is a 27-year-old NEET who is unable to find stable work. One night, he meets Ryo Yoake from the ReLIFE laboratory who offers him participation in the ReLIFE project. Arata accepts and soon learns that ReLIFE involves him taking medicine that makes him appear 17 again, and enrolling as a third-year high school student at Alba High School. There he meets fellow classmates Kazuomi, Rena, An, and Chizuru. Ryo has also taken the medicine to support Arata while enrolled in school. He explains to Arata that ReLIFE is an opportunity for him to relive his youth in an attempt to change his current self. We learn about Rena's competitive nature and her disappointment in losing the position of class representative to Chizuru. Arata meets Chizuru during lunch, but her blunt and straightforward way of speaking throws him off. She shares with Arata that she is socially awkward and does not understand people or know how to communicate with them, but wants to change that about herself. Arata gives her encouragement, and they become friends after exchanging phone numbers. During gym class, Arata ends up hurting himself, and Ryo explains that despite his youthful appearance, Arata's body is still biologically 27 years old. Meanwhile, Chizuru takes Arata's advice to try smiling more in an attempt to make friends, but her forced smiles are misinterpreted by Rena as Chizuru is mocking her. Rena also learns that despite seeing Chizuru as an academic rival, she was actually unaware of who she was, causing Rena's perception of them to be strained. Chizuru's continued attempts at smiling have the unintended effect of lowering Rena's self-worth due to her misconception that Chizuru's actions are out of spite. Rena measures her self-worth by her success, and the previous year she was the class representative alongside Kazuomi, who she has feelings for. Having lost both the class representative position and the place at Kazuomi's side to Chizuru, Rena begins to think less of herself and grows angrier towards Chizuru. Chizuru, however, is unaware of Rena's feelings and feels that they are becoming friends. One night after staying late at school, Rena sees Chizuru has also stayed late and steals her school bag in retaliation for her perceived mistreatment, but she is caught by Arata. As Arata attempts to stop her, they both fall down a flight of stairs. Arata wakes up in the school infirmary after the fall. When Rena awakens, Arata confronts her and she shares her feelings of insecurity and frustration towards Chizuru. Arata encourages her not to stoop to the level of harassing people she doesn't like, and to continue being a person who perseveres to obtain what she wants. After leaving, Arata meets Chizuru, who suspects Rena was trying to steal her bag, but could not think of a reason why. Arata confirms Chizuru's suspicions, and she decides to speak with Rena as she is leaving the school. Rena explains her feelings towards Chizuru and learns that Chizuru never meant to degrade her and was only attempting to be her friend. With the confusion cleared up, Rena apologizes and agrees to be Chizuru's friend on the condition that Chizuru acknowledges Rena as a rival. Kazuomi and An pay a visit to Arata's apartment for a study session, due to both Arata and An repeatedly scoring poorly on their previous tests. When Kazuomi leaves early, An confesses to Arata that they met previously and that she fell in love with him at first sight. Ryo decides to check up on Arata via his cell phone, but learns An and Arata are alone and rushes to the apartment. An attempts to kiss Arata, but he stops her just as Ryo arrives. Ryo scolds An for her actions, and she reveals that she was only testing Arata, and that she is actually Ryo's 27-year-old co-worker at ReLIFE Laboratory. She also explains that she was supposed to be Arata's supporter, but Ryo took over due to her not finishing her training in time. Ryo was scolded by his supervisors for being too involved in Subject 1's life, and thus he distanced himself from that person. At that time, he was also asked to scout out Arata to potentially be Subject 2 in the ReLIFE project. After a year had passed, the results from Subject 1 were deemed a failure, and the person in question had not changed at all. Discouraged by his failure to support Subject 1, Ryo is encouraged by An not to give up as Arata was selected to be Subject 2, and that Ryo had been assigned as his supporter. Ryo concludes his report by logging that despite Arata's struggles, he is making progress. Honoka and Arata take a Mayhop test. Honoka passes, but not Arata. Rena stands up for Honoka when other volleyball members make fun of her. Honoka passes out as she studied too hard to pass the makeup test. Unfortunately, this causes Rena to have an accident, and their friendship is in crisis. Chizuru understands that there's a problem and talks with Arata. Talking about the problem causes Arata to confront his past mistake with Chizuru, and they plan to make Rena and Honoka friends again. Akira and Nobu bring Rena and Kozuomi and listen to a private discussion among Honoka, Arata, and Chizuru. Chizuru motivates Honoka to talk with Rena. However, Rena runs away before Honoka can talk with her, and on the day of the match, Chizuru motivates Rena to play, and Rena finally agrees to play. Rena and Honoka make up. They lose, but have a great time. Arata indirectly explains to Kazuomi about love and how important it is. When Kazuomi and Arata see a man with Rena, Kazuomi rushes to her when he learns that Rena had a heat stroke and the man had helped her. Kazuomi walks Rena home. That night, he realizes his feelings for Rena and asks everyone for advice. Then he invites Rena to the summer festival, and Rena asks advice on what she should do with the other girls. Rena asks for Honoka and Chizuru's assistance in getting her and Kazuomi alone during the fireworks festival in order for her to confess her feelings to him. At the festival, everyone splits up in order to let Kazuomi and Rena be alone, as they knew Kazuomi was also planning on confessing to Rena. Ryo and An also make it so that Arata and Chizuru ended up together alone. Rena and Kazuomi confess their feelings towards one another. As the fireworks begin, Chizuru tells Arata she was happy to meet him. Chizuru recalls all the events that happened since the start of the school year, and before then when she met Ryo and became Subject 1 in the ReLIFE project. After the festival ends, Arata walks Chizuru home and realizes that he has fallen in love with her, but decides against telling her since everyone he met in school will forget him once his ReLIFE ends. Instead, they tell each other that they will never forget each other. Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to like and subscribe for more.